So I found myself in 2010 trying to figure out how I might help lead a lumber company through the absolute collapse of a national housing market without the consistent or comfortable use of my voice. And I had no strategy or plan for what would happen next. So my instincts took over. And when instincts take over, things get very simple. When you can't talk, you listen. You get really, really good at listening. You get really good at asking questions. You get really good at answering a question with a question, sharing the stage, empowering others, and strengthening voices around you. And having now lived that way, I've come to believe that perhaps all CEOs should lose their voice for a time. There are lots of ways to lose your voice in this world. You can get lost in your roles. You can get lost in the busyness of it all. You can get lost in the pull of your tribe and what people expect you to think or say or do, or not think or not say or not do. And you can lose your voice from overreaching, from those who have more power, intimidating either overtly or covertly you into being something other than what you really want to be. And that all brought me back, ironically, to the lumber company and the idea in the modern age of repurposing organizations, even lumber companies, around one big idea above all others, regardless of the industry. The purpose of the organization is to enrich the lives of the people who work there. The purpose of the organization is not to grow trees, it's not to make lumber, it's not to deliver building materials, it's to help people find, release, and live with their own true voice. And if you create an organization that first and foremost tries to do that, whatever business objectives you have behind it, those people will then nail. And I would say the single biggest transformation in my own life is I spent the majority of my career thinking about how everybody else needed to change and what everybody else should be doing and how they should be doing it differently. And my life only kind of started to gain traction when I gave that up and started spending the majority of my time on what I needed to do differently, or how I needed to change, or how I could have impacted the situation. And it's really kind of a very different way to think about leadership and management, because by definition, historically, leadership or management is about the supervision or direction of others. But I really think in the world we're heading into today, that leadership and management is really no different than living. It's about trying to figure out as best you can how to supervise yourself. And hoping if you become the person you want to be, if you evolve in the directions you want to evolve in, that energy is just going to spread and be shared. Awareness and connectivity in and of itself is a really powerful act. So often people ask me when they hear my story, what do you do at Pine Ridge? And that question, as simple as it sounds, used to really stump me. Like I'd stumble and fumble, and I finally just started telling the truth. People say, well, what do you do at Pine Ridge? I don't really do anything at Pine Ridge. I go there and I hang out with the people I know or I meet who live there. I literally drive around and I sit with them and we visit. They talk to me and I listen to them and I talk to them, and that's all I do. But I've actually come to believe that's powerful. Awareness, I see you. I know you're here. I know what happened. I know this story. and connectivity. That in and of itself, I think, is powerful. Again, the act of listening. And the other thing I've ended up saying a lot there, which I touched on before the break, is that I look for opportunities to tell people that I actually go there. The primary reason I go there is because of what the community there, their community, gives to me. And the community is so used to people going there to give something to them, which is great and important. It's really great, it's really important, and it should be encouraged. But the other side of that is just this realization that they have lots to give. That there's a story there, a culture there, human beings there, values there, that actually are really, really super relevant in a lot of ways for a lot of the subjects we think about and are trying to deal with in the present day.